Hey, Bubbles.
And suddenly, it's France who are backtracking. Bellingham, it's brilliant. Is it going to be number 6? Oh, you bet it is. What a way to sign off at the end of the World Cup.
What's your thoughts, Kit? You join me, I'm clearing up, so ignore the mess. I have some thoughts on last night's game, and I have some thoughts about the World Cup. Right, so last night's game was probably one of the better games of this World Cup. In fact, my opinion on this World Cup is it was pretty terrible, actually, just with all time differences. Imagine if you were there, it was great. And as a Scotland fan, 1 goal in 3 games and we looked like a bunch of statues, not great. But let me ask you a question, right? Because I genuinely think last night's game was one of the better games because they were playing for nothing. Well, that's not entirely fair, is it? Because they were in the World Cup. But when I think about the World Cup, and when I think about specifically like Scotland and Steve Clarke, right? Scotland getting to the World Cup by scoring goals. We played some free-flowing football, and this was the same at the Euros as well. To qualify, it was like we played with the gloves off, but then when we qualified and we were on the stage to show people what we could do, we shat the bed. Steve Clarke has a history of being able to get to the tournament and then shits the bed, and the gloves are on, we're defensive, we look boring, we look passive. And that seems to be the exact case here. And look, I get it, tactics and all that, but sometimes, like last night for example, you just go out, if I'm Thomas Tuchel for a moment, and just be like, boys, you know how to play the game, you know your positions, you know how to take a player on, you know how to shoot, right? Just wee things here and there. If Mbappe's going to try and do something, break his leg, that would be my thing. There you go, just go out and play games, do you know what I mean, instead of this whole passive nonsense. I'm just saying, right? Because that England performance, well done. Yes, it was for nothing. But what's your thoughts? Do managers these days just overcomplicate it and then make a game of football into basically a game of chess, something that would put you to sleep? That's my thoughts, but tell me yours. Because I think that game is going to completely trump the game tonight. I feel like Spain and Argentina were at their best when they were free flowing. They both played some amazing football in their last games, particularly in the second half. Argentina looked unplayable at times, and so did Spain. And I guarantee you, I'll probably eat my words, I hope I do, they'll probably be passive and feel the game out rather than just going and playing football. But that's just my opinion on the way that the World Cup's been. I feel like managers get in their own heads and overcomplicate it, whereas last night, Tuchel probably had his shortest speech in the dressing room. Boys, just go play the fucking game. Just it. On you go. And it worked. 10 goals. What a game. Congratulations, England, by the way. And this is from a Scot. Yes, it ultimately means nothing. You didn't lift a trophy, but that was a great performance and I enjoyed watching it. I know, crazy, right? That being said, let me tell you a little story. I'll do the next one actually.